Hello everybody, my name's Scott Moore and I'm a business analyst for the Scottish Improvement Service. In 2015 I was awarded the Sockton Graham Williamson Research Scholarship, which provides young IT professionals working in the public sector the opportunity to carry out a piece of funded research into international digital public service trends, with which I spent some time over the summer working with the Seoul Metropolitan Government, learning about their journey to becoming a citizen-led smart city over the past few decades. So just a little bit of context first into what is a smart city, and we've already heard a little bit about that today from the talks by Joss. Urban areas currently account for over half of the world's population. This is expected to rise to nearly 70% by 2050. With this rapid urbanisation comes with it a myriad of social urban issues, ranging from climate change to increased pressure on public services such as healthcare and transport. And to address these issues, cities have been investing in smart city and e-government technologies. These range from expensive hardware solutions such as city control centres and autonomous vehicles to low-cost solutions such as smartphone apps, online platforms, and citizen-led ideas. And these two can generally be broken into top-down approaches to smart cities and bottom-up approaches to smart cities. And we heard a little bit earlier about Milton Keynes' sort of top-down approaches with their autonomous vehicles, and now I'd sort of like to talk a wee bit about Seoul's primarily bottom-up approach to smart cities and e-government solutions. So to give you a bit of background to the city of Seoul, it's got a population of about 10 million people and a total area of 605 kilometres squared, which is about half the size of London, so it's about a lot more densely populated than London, which brings with it a lot more social and urban issues. It has a GDP per capita of about $23,375 and is considered one of the most economically developed cities in the Far East. In regards to such, 90% of South Koreans own smartphones and 95% are connected to broadband, which is incidentally the highest broadband connectivity in the world. In regards to these statistics, Seoul is ranked 6th in the Global Power City Index, which measures cities on their ability to mobilise their assets and secure an economic, social and environmental development, and it has regularly been ranked first in UN's e-government survey 6 years in a row. This wasn't always the case for Seoul. To give you a bit of history into the city, after the Korean War in the 1950s, Seoul's economy was more or less broken and its population widely displaced across the country. But thanks to favourable export policies and the financial backing of the US, whilst investing smartly in manufacturing and technology industries, the city went through a period of exponential growth and quickly became one of the fastest growing economies of the 20th century, with its population rapidly increasing by 270,000 people per year. And as you see here, this is Seoul in the 1950s, which was primarily made up of shanty towns with very poor infrastructure and opportunities. And now we see today is the super-connected smart city that we often associate with it. And you can see here that is there's a disclaimer here actually. I'm going to apologise for my bad Korean, but I'm going to try and attempt to pronounce this. The Dongdaemun Design Plaza, which was designed by Iraqi-born British architect Zaha Hadid, which I think nicely symbolises Seoul as its futuristic smart city that we associate with it today. So most recently, Seoul has been pursuing its e-government agenda in its bid to become a world-leading citizen-led smart city by 2020. This all started back in 1999 when Seoul Metropolitan Government appointed its first Chief Information Officer, with which a series of e-government programmes were initiated. Notably, the amalgamation of several government websites into a singular citizen portal. Step 2 was their online phase, moving more government services online. For instance, the implementation of e-tax system, which allows citizens of Seoul to pay their taxes online, and this has an adoption rate of about 80% now in Seoul. With the rise of mobile technology in the mid to late 2000s, Seoul started investing in mobile applications and mobile government, trying to promote more online citizen participation. And over the last couple of years, the city has been pursuing smart governance with the introduction of big data analytics and the Internet of Things to better tailor public services. So one of the services that they developed as part of their e-government programme was Oasis of 10 Million Imagination. This was developed in 2006 and is a public proposal system that allows citizens to get directly involved in the creation of policy. Citizens can put forward ideas for policy. They then go to a voting panel, and if an idea receives 10 votes, it then has to be reviewed by the respective department, at which point the department will review the best ideas and every quarterly will nominate a policy or an idea put forward by citizens, which then gets translated into policy. And this has been a real success across Seoul, with 669 proposal cases each month. And since 2006, 565 of them have been adopted into policies. For instance, the creation of designated no smoking areas around Seoul, which came through the Oasis of 10 Million Imagination. After which, in correspondence with the rise of smartphone adoption across Seoul, Seoul Metropolitan Government started to invest in mobile governments with the creation of M-Voting. This voting app allows citizens to vote on key policy issues either through their smartphone and PC. And the voting can either be targeted by demographic or by locality area within the Seoul metropolitan area. Again, this has been a huge success in terms of increasing citizen participation and civic engagement with government. Most notably, in the 2015-16 budgetary review, where 1 million Seoul citizens participated in the review of 14.2 billion budget, which helped review 54 businesses and establish 18 new businesses. And just some statistics here, just to show how popular this has been. So, had about 20,292 downloads since its implementation, and a number of 1,147 proposals coming through that. More recently, however, Seoul has been investing in smart government ideas in regards to IoT technology across the city. Seoul Metropolitan Internet of Things, if anyone doesn't know, is the idea of ubiquitous network of things, people, and data all interconnected, providing information to better tailor public services across cities. And the Seoul Metropolitan Government has been investing in these to tackle a number of urban issues in regards to tourism, overpopulation, safety, and the environment. So this project has been conducted in 2 phases. Initially, the current phase, the Bukchon IoT Pilot Zone. Now, this is a traditional Korean town in the centre of Seoul, and as such is subject to quite a lot of tourists, 1 million visitors per month, due to its sort of traditional Korean architecture and its cultural heritage, and with such brings with it a myriad of urban issues around the local area, from over-littering, illegal parking, and large amounts of tourists, and noise pollution. And this has led to a large amount of complaints from locals within the area. So to counteract these issues, Seoul Metropolitan Government has been experimenting with IoT technology within the area, installing sensors, monitors around the village which can monitor tourist flows, check parking and check rubbish levels to allow for more responsive public services. And this has actually brought down the number of complaints made from locals within the area. Building on the success of this pilot project, the Seoul Metropolitan Government plans to roll out these IoT technologies across another 100 locations around the city, and it's bid to become the world-leading IoT city by 2020. Furthermore, it has been using open data technology since 2012 to drive open administration, accountability and innovation. Seoul's Open Data Plaza, which was based on that of New York's, was created in 2012 with the view to improve public services, increase transparency and accountability, and promote innovation. This has been a huge success as the Seoul Metropolitan Government has now opened about 4,000 data sets and currently has about 1,500 monthly users, which has led to the creation and collaboration with private sector organisations to create innovative apps such as Citymapper and other geospatial apps to improve public life around the city. In regards to big data, Seoul Metropolitan Government has been pioneering use of big data technology in collaboration with KT Telecoms, a Korean mobile provider. They use this to create more tailored, citizen-led public services, example of which was the night bus route optimization, where the Seoul Metropolitan Government, in collaboration with KT Telecoms, analysed 3 billion phone calls made between the hours of 1 AM and 5 AM at weekends, matching and mapping the location the call was made and associating that with the respective billing address to visualise the most popular routes travelled late at night. With such information, they were able to optimise and create a number of night bus routes that are currently in use. This is now covers almost 40% of bus routes around Seoul, so it's been a huge success. And again, with KT Telecoms, Seoul Metropolitan Government analysed mobile data usage of tourists and citizens and matched that with the locations to assess where people were most frequently using mobile data, from which they installed a number of Wi-Fi hotspots across the city and also a number of charging ports. Lastly, I'd just like to talk about the organisation WeGo, who were the organisation that helped facilitate my time working over with Seoul Metropolitan Government. And they are the international e-government organisation for cities and local government, and they're the real driving force behind the promotion and advancement of e-government and smart cities, based in Seoul, but they do a lot of international work as well. They pursue sustainable city development based on e-governments and digital technologies, and were launched in 2010, and now have over 100 members in local governments and cities across the world. They work in membership with partner organisations, partner cities, to help advance their digital capacity and promote the use of IT to innovate public administrations through training programmes like the one that I was involved in, and online toolkits and feasibility studies. And they've been doing some truly extraordinary work across the world and started actually exporting their products and services, their e-government solutions, to other countries and cities across the world, notably working with more or less economically developed countries. For instance, they exported their civil complaints proposal system, which is pronounced Ingdup Su, to Mumbai in India, as they didn't have the capacity or resources to develop these solutions themselves. So they're doing some really good work in terms of promoting the e-governance agenda worldwide. Oh, sorry. But the most striking thing about my time spent in Seoul wasn't the differences between our culture and our local government and our politics, but it was actually just how similar we are from them, and how similar and closely they are on the digital pathway and e-government's journey as to us. And I think there's a real opportunity in the UK to collaborate more closely with the City of Seoul and WeGo, the organisation, to learn more from their expertise in e-government solutions. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll be happy to take any questions from the floor.
Thank you very much. Really fascinating insight into a city that's clearly sort of cutting edge in many of its adoptions of technologies that we've been talking about a lot at this conference. Which of those elements, you said there's some similarities with the UK, elements we can learn. People in this community going back into their own organisations, thinking about how UK local government applies some of these cutting-edge technologies. Which do you think could deliver the most benefit soonest for us here?
Well, I think there's a real opportunity in IoT technology, especially not just in local government, but also in the health and social care. You know, they were also sort of experimenting with wearable kits for tracking heartbeats and monitoring the health of citizens. So I think there's probably going to be a real opportunity there in the years going forward for local government and health and social care to seize in order to try and tailor more personalised health and social care, to be honest. So I think IoT technology is probably going to be the big one going forward, especially in the UK.
Thank you. Any questions from the floor? In that case, we'll say thank you very much indeed. Great piece of research, and yes, look forward to hearing more in due course. Thank you very much.